Dear comrades, today I am talking about the national pension system. Let us look into the chronology of the system right from 2003 to 2004. During the budget session of 2003 and 2004, then the NDA government announced the system of pension, what is now called National Pension System. On 23rd August 2003, the government approved the proposal of the budget. Then on 10th October 2003, they issued a notification appointing an interim pension fund regulatory and development authority. Followed by this, on 22nd December, the Ministry of Finance, Department of Economic Affairs has issued a notification detailing some salient features of the National Pension System effective from 1/1/2004. This system was originally introduced only for the government sector, that is government employees. Then subsequently, during UPA period in 2009, they expanded this to cover all the citizens and the unorganized sector and public sector also. Then in 2013, since up to that there was no specific act passed, in 2013, with the support of both the treasury benches and opposition, the UPA government passed the bill called Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority, 2013. Then it has been notified as an act and published on, and the same has been published on 18/9/2013 and published by the Law Ministry on the very next day. Then followed by this, the Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority has issued a resolution, that is a notification called the Pension Fund Regulatory Authority Exits and Withdrawals under National Pension System Resolution 2015, and the same has been published on 11th May 2015. Accordingly, it covers three categories. One, government sector. Two, all citizens including organized employees. Then NPS Light and Swabhalan. With no sufficient response for the Swabhalan, it has been replaced by Atal Pension Yojana with effect from 1st June 2015. Then followed by this resolution, for the government employees alone, for central government employees alone, now they have issued a notification called Central Civil Services Implementation of National Pension System Rules 2021, dated 30/3/2021. And the same has been published on 31st March 2021. Now, in our hand, we have the recently introduced Gazette notification dated 30th March 2021 called Central Civil Services Implementation of National Pension System Rules 2021. Hereafter we may call CCS NPS Rules 2021. the notification contains some 50 pages. Now I am not going to speak about all the 50 pages. The immediate requirement for all subscribers old and new is exercise is the option. Under Rule 10, every subscriber should exercise option in Form 1 in triplicate. The head of the office, that is the guest, in this case the Pension Sanctioning Authority, after scrutinizing the option, countersign it, acknowledge it. The acknowledged copy should be sent to the subscriber. The other copy should be sent back to the DDO for pasting in the service book. The third one should be forwarded to the PAO, Pay and Account Services, that is in our sense Circle Accounting Office, through the DDO. The DDO should forward the copy intended for Central Record Keeping Agency to the Circle Account Office. At Circle Accounting Office, they should note the details online in the system and forward the hard copy to the Central Record Keeping Agency for their record. Yes. What is the feature containing in the form? This form is an option for old pension scheme or national pension system to avail the benefits under certain categories, under 3 categories, or 3 contingencies. We may call it contingency. Instead of categories, we may call it contingencies, because it is not an open option. Only in case of death during service, invalidation, or disability, the option exercised for old pension will be available. In other cases, only the benefits available under the NPS system can be applied. But at present, what I am stressing is that despite any controversy, every subscriber should exercise the first option for old pension, because the option once exercised can be modified as many number of times as possible. At the time of invalidation and disability, since the employees or our subscribers themselves are going to get the pension under old pension scheme or NPS system, they may be given an option, fresh option, to exercise at the time of discharge or invalidation. But in case if they are unable to give option, they are not in a position to give option, the option already exercised will hold good. In the case of death, the option already exercised and available will hold good, and the family will get pension. In the case of invalidation and disability, the subscribers themselves will get a pension, and only after their death the family will get pension. Now, I have already told you that the option can be changed as many times as possible. Now the question arises, what is the effect if no option is given? or no option is available at the time of death of the subscriber. The CCS NPS rules 2021 stipulates that is, in case if a subscriber dies before 15 years of the introduction of the scheme or his enrollment in the scheme, or within next 3 years of the notification dated 30/3/2021, the family will get family pension under old pension scheme. Likewise, if invalidation, in the case of invalidation or disability, if invalidation or disability occurs within 15 years or within next 3 years of the notification, the invalidation or disability pension will be settled as per old pension scheme. But there is a moot point not yet clarified in the notification. Yes, the NPS system has been introduced effective from 1/1/2004. If an official entered in that scheme in 2004, the 15 years ends in 2019. 15 years ends in 2019. That what about the intervening period from 2019 to the till the date of notification in 2021? Nothing has been said in these rules. Suppose if an unmarried official remains unmarried till his death, even though if he opts for old pension scheme, it is not valid, and the legal heir will get only the benefits under National Pension System. Along with Form 1, every subscriber has to give details of his family in Form 2. On receipt of Form 2, the head of the office or the pension sanctioning authority in this case has to countersign it with the date of receipt and send back the same to the DDO for pasting in the service book. This is a permanent one. Any additional alterations in the structure of the family, that is marriage, birth of children, or any disability in the family, may be intimated to the pension sanctioning authority or the head of the office for noting the changes under column 7 of the Form 2. There is no necessity of giving fresh Form 2 at this stage. But at the time of retirement, a fresh details of family may be obtained from every such official only in the case of retirement only. Then, what is family? In Form 2, it consists of spouse, all children and parents, whether they are entitled for pension or not, dependent parents, disabled siblings, that is sisters and brothers. Nothing more has been started in Form 2. Whereas under Resolution 2015, even though nothing has been defined in the definition clause, under miscellaneous heading, the expression family has been defined. As per that definition, for male employee, the family consists of his legally wedded wife, his children, married or not, his dependent parents, his deceased son's widow and children. Whereas in the case of female employee, her legally wedded husband, her children, whether married or not, her own dependent parents, her husband's dependent parents, her deceased son's widow and children. In the case of female employee, she may add her own parents, her own dependent parents. In furnishing the details of family, the female government employee has the freedom of omitting her husband in the details of family. In such a case, she need not include her husband's dependent parents. Now our doubt is which one is correct, which one prevails, whether the details of family given under Form 2 or under Resolution 2015. But under legal parlance, the resolution has more effective than the rules. Rules may be got amended in subsequently, whereas resolution has the foremost legal authority. Moreover, the Resolution 2015 covers all the categories, whether government employees, individual citizens, or other schemes. The Form 2 applicable only to the government employees. Hence, I advise every employee to give details also available in the Resolution 2015 for future safety. With this, I conclude this session. Thank you, comrade.